Hello everyone, and a very warm welcome to you from Silkeborg in Denmark and the LGT World Women's Curling Championship 2019. We're in central Denmark, and the town of Silkeborg was built on the banks of the country's longest river, and buildings here date from around the late 1700s. It's a hot spot for outdoor activities, but we're inside, of course, for this, the fifth session of round-robin action here at the World Championships. And we're looking forward to the action this evening. And our featured game in this session 5 will be Latvia against Canada. Players just being introduced to the crowd inside the arena here, the Silkeborg Sports Centre. And there are two lineups for us there. Latvia against Canada. Canada one win, and Latvia yet to win so far. Plenty of interested spectators from around the world coming to support the teams here in Silkeborg. And we're looking forward to the action between these two. Still in the early stages of the round robin. The teams anxious to get those wins on the board. And here are the lineups. Eva-Lena Baroni is the lead for Latvia. Eva Krusta, who plays second. Third player for Latvia, Santa Blumberga. And Iveta Staza Sarsuna is the skip. The Canadian lineup, Rachel Brown is the lead. Dana Ferguson plays second. Sarah Wilkes, third player. And the skip, Chelsea Carey. Standings thus far: China leading the way, 3 wins, no losses. Korea, no losses either on 2. Germany and a whole host of teams on 1 and 1. Switzerland on 1 and 2, and Latvia still to get that first win. Long, long way to go yet. We'll see how this one pans out. And these are the other games: Finland against Scotland. Korea will play the United States. We have Latvia against Canada as our featured game, and it's Denmark against Sweden, the all-Scandinavian lineup there. We'll keep you updated on all the latest from the games, but this is the one we'll be concentrating on. I'm Alison Walker, alongside me Sandra Robag. We'll be providing live commentary for you on the encounter between these two. Latvia certainly the underdogs in this, and Canada always strong, Sandra.
Yeah, you know, when the Maple Leaf is what you're playing against, you'll have a tough one. It's not just straightforward for Canada to make the travel across the pond and just pick up golds. Did try Chelsea Carey in 2016, finished 4th, and that was home in Saskatchewan in Canada. But like you said, I think they're strong favourites for this game, playing Latvia. They have their skip back in the lineup, Iveta Stasa Sarsuna. She'll be playing her 3rd World Championship, but just the 1-10 record in the previous last goes, so it'll be a learning experience, if anything.
They just want to try and get as many wins as they can. There's the skip, and she's been absent until today. She had major business commitments back home in Riga, but she's here for this game against Canada. Latvia will be red, Canada yellow stones. And there's the last stone draw, Sander.
Yeah, 2 teams play 1 draw, or both teams play 2 draws each, and they measure both. And whoever's closest will get the last one advantage. That might come in handy as well over the week. Might be your tiebreaker.
So it'll be Latvia that will get us underway. And Eva-Lena Baroni, the youngest player in the competition at just 15, playing lead for her country. What a moment for her. Latvian junior champion, been playing with this team since 2016. So what a learning experience for her here. I'm sure the adrenaline was possibly getting the better of her there on this first stone. This is a massive stage for the youngster now. We have Rochelle Brown, experienced lead for Kerry Rink, 32 years old. She's a teacher and lives in Edmonton and plays out of Glencoe Curling Club in Calgary. Left-hander and hits and sticks. The team did play in the European Championships in November and finished 5th. So they can pull off the odd result. First year on this team for Rochelle Brown. Just trading hits at the moment.
Yeah, neither team wanting to get too much into it here in the first end. Definitely with the first one from Latvia slipping deep. They've could have thrown the corner, Canada, but we're happy to just run the stones up and down.
Krista.
Yeah, I didn't come out.
And second for Latvia. 42 years old now, been around the game a long time. Played in the Women's Worlds in 2013 and 2010. And finishing 12th on both occasions. Dana Ferguson, also a 32-year-old from Edmonton in Canada. She's a development coach playing out of the Savo Sports Centre.
Good. Hey, she threw that okay. I just tight. Okay, what was that? 9-1. Okay. Good, Dana. Sid, you threw it okay. She said she iced you tight.
Always such an expectation, Sander, of Canada at the World Championships, no matter what team they produce or whichever team qualifies to get here. They're always expected to be up there. The pressure is on, if you like.
Yeah, I think the gold is wanted and a medal is the minimum.
Here's the rules of play for you. We play 6 ends minimum. That's the 38-minute thinking time. And that 1 60-second timeout, generally when the coach pops down, usually towards the end of the game when the really big decisions have to be made.
Sorry, Dana, my fault. Good, Dana. Sid, good throw again. Okay. What? Oh, good. Take.
Santa Bloomberger, the 24-year-old third player for Latvia, playing the skip's role until her skip got here today. So she stepped up in the first couple of games, now back to her third position. She works in banking when she's not curling.
Yeah, I think so.
But she likes kayaking, fishing and knitting. Sandra, are you a knitting fan?
Can't say that's one of my biggest hobbies, but I think we always see the odd knitter up in the rafters at curling games.
I think it's the Finnish team that they knit the socks for the teams, or is it Czech Republic. It's quite a popular pastime, I guess, when you're at airports and waiting around a lot and you play cards or you sleep or you knit.
Nice there.
I think you should start.
Wow. I could see it. Did you get 3-6? 4-1. Oh, okay. Good. I could see it coming down like there. Yeah. As soon as it starts.
So really, they're just seeing this end out, aren't they?
Yeah, just unless there's an unforced error here, Canada will be looking to blank this end, retain last on advantage, and you'll probably see them put some rocks in play in the second end and try and score there too. It's just about running the stones a bit up and down, just a little bit familiar. Evening game, long week. You might just want to keep it a little simple to start off with, and also carry the last one advantage maybe into those even ends already at the start to maybe control the scoreboard a bit.
I told you about Sarah Wilkes, the vice skip for Canada. She's a student advisor at the University of Alberta in Edmonton. 28 years old. There she is.
Okay.
Jā, viņš it kā izskatās pēc lasi, un tad vienā brīdī viņš tā ļoti iekrīt. Tā nenokavē to brīdi.
Latvian skip Iveta Staza-Sarsuni, oldest player in the competition, along with Krista, the vice skip. Lots of experience. 3 times at these World Championships, including this year. And she's also the Latvian junior women's coach as well. Trying to get the next generation of Latvian curlers going. Chelsea Carey, skip for Team Canada. Lives in Calgary, but from Winnipeg originally in Canada. 34 years old now, as Sandra said earlier, playing in that World Championship in 2016 when she finished 4th.
Good, Chelsea. I got a 10. And okay. Yeah. Good.
Canada had a bit of a dry spell in the women's. After the gold in 2008, they didn't win again until 2017. Switzerland won 3 years in a row between 2014 and 2016, but now it's Canada that can go 3 in a row, winning last 2 years. Rachel Holman 2 years ago and Jennifer Jones last year.
And this really is the only Latvian team that plays at this level, whereas in Canada, Chelsea Carey had to beat off a whole load of other very, very good competition to get to these championships. The strength and depth that they have in Canada is quite something, isn't it?
Yeah, it's tough enough to get out of your own province, let alone win the Canadian Championship.
She's here and here on merit. Chelsea Carey playing the last stone of this first end, making sure
Over curls.
Yep,
And first error.
Yep, stopped me in my tracks there. I just didn't expect that. There we go. Yep, Canada forced to take one there. And after the first end, Latvia, no, Canada won. Into the second end then of this our featured game between Latvia and Canada in the round robin here, the LGT World Women's Curling Championship. And a little bit of lack of concentration, Sandy, would you say, in that first end, or in
Yeah,
terms of Canada?
Made all their shots the whole end, and then Chelsea carry. This is the last one. We see that sometimes from skips. Yeah, it could be a lack of concentration. It's when you play an end just up and down like that, it's almost a bit boring, even just to play as a player, and your mind can wander a bit. You're not as fully focused on what's happening.
And it is the first end, right? If you're going to make any mistakes like that, do it in the first end. There's a long, long way to go.
Yeah, you score, it's fine. It's much better than giving up a steal. You just feel a bit silly though when you make that miss. You play the whole end to bank it and you miss the last one. It's never a good feeling, but just keep on trucking. And Canada did put up the centre guard here, so it does seem like they're wanting to play a bit. Not a bad hit and roll there by Barone. I believe they were trying to roll towards that corner guard, but that's a good plan B.
I'm sure they can still see quite a bit of that red stone at the other end. Dana Ferguson.
staying patient for now. Just looking for the freeze. Just put this right on top of the Latvian rock. Bit of a setup shot. But a little bit heavy from Ferguson, so I'll end up tapping it a bit. Well, that's okay.
Meantime, let's catch up on the Denmark-Sweden game, that all Scandinavian lineup. And yeah, let's get the thoughts of our Norwegian, Sander.
Well, Sweden line one here in the 8-foot, so pretty simple stuff for Anna Hasselborg. Bread and butter draw. Just use your sweepers, and that should be a score of 2 for the Swedes. You can see Sofia Malbergs and Agnes Nockenhauer just lightly dusting it, so should be in control of this. Just hoping it's going to settle down, and it does seem like it's going to do that, so 2 points.
Yeah, good start for Sweden in that one. I'll keep you updated elsewhere. This is what we're concentrating on, this one though.
Yeah, Eva Krusta made a little nice hidden stick. Meanwhile, so Dana Ferguson playing against 2 reds here.
There's Dan Carey, the coach of Canada, dad of Chelsea, and a pretty good curler in his day. Sander.
Well, I never played them.
I think he might have, might be a few years ago.
I never got that chance.
Played in the Men's World Championship in 1992 and won bronze. There's numerous Briar titles, and so safe to say she's from a very curling-orientated family. Good pedigree.
Winnipeg is a pretty big curling city.
And he's the coach for Latvia. That's Carlos Milga. Thought he was going to give us a smile there.
I believe I went to Winnipeg, and if I'm not mistaken, they number their sheets from 1 to 6 in the old, like the oldest rink, and then from 7 to 10 and so on. And I practiced on sheet 1, and then I played a game in the evening on sheet 142 or something.
Right.
So there's quite a lot of curling clubs in and around Winnipeg.
And there's only one dedicated curling, 2 curling sheets, 1 dedicated ice facility for curling in Latvia.
I played there too, actually.
And it's a nice...
It's nice, yeah. Ice was pretty good when we were there.
Trying their best to get more people curling. They've got a target for 2022 to 700. I think there are about 200 of curlers in Latvia at the moment. 56 juniors, which is good news for the future of the sport. This one came through the junior ranks. Santa Lindberger.
Pretty good chance to freeze onto this yellow in behind the corner guard, and that's a pretty good effort by Bloomberg as well. So the good part about making the play into the wings here is you always keep that yellow 4-foot open. So if it doesn't work out, you can always score your 1.
Like, I love to stick, but I don't think we get cute. Okay. Or you freeze. I don't mind that either. Okay. What did you get on that one? I got 13. I got 13 as well. Did you even get control of 6? Yes. Yeah.
So she'll go down a similar line and try and freeze against that red one.
Yeah, just kind of trying to take it out of play.
Wait on me, line straight. Yellow line, yellow line. Yellow line. Gotta go. Really gotta go. Really gotta go. Keep it curling. Keep it curling. Just want to get
Hop over to Finland against Scotland now. First end. Lauren Gray, Scotland skip in for the injured skip, Sander.
Yeah, and I actually had to come on mid-game against China earlier today. Did pretty well. They were down 6-0, and then all of a sudden it was a 6-5 game. In the end, they lost, but Lauren Gray is a very solid player, and this is a draw for 2. The sweeper's trying to hold it, but just over curling. I don't think that's enough, so just a 1 for Scotland.
We're in the second end here between Latvia and Canada. Some vigorous sweeping going on here. You see the curl beginning to happen now.
Pick though, so I think you're probably going pretty hard for it, right? Like firm? Yeah, whatever you see. I want to throw peel, I'm just worried about. I think you have almost 3/4 of the rock. Yeah. Okay. Easy peel? Yeah. Thick half?
See that over curled, so
Does that look close?
Canada able to see enough of it to even make the double here, I think. That's what they're looking at. Peel would be a pretty solid weight.
Thick half for the double. Okay.
Basically, the closer that broom's to the rock, the more weight they'll be throwing. Because the more weight you throw, the less it will curl. So throw it really hard, it will go pretty much pistol straight. Catch about half a rock here. And you'll try and shoot over, catch the second red as well. And that's what we call a double takeout.
So we can predict some welly here, can we?
Yeah. Proper thrust out the hack, all extension as well. Needs to come pretty close to the center guard, but definitely sees enough of it.
To just keep it straight.
Well, doesn't make the double, but rolls on top. That's almost as good.
It's the counting stone.
It actually had a bit of room on the guard there and still over curled.
Good shot, Kyle. Thanks. Do you feel a little wide there? Yeah, and I didn't set it on purpose. That might be why it curled, but I still.
Yeah, there was a few centimeters there, wasn't there, at the guard?
That's a lot at this level.
But it curled a lot too. It was on half rock.
Couple inches.
Like to the nose halfway down. Yeah. Good shot. Good call. Yeah, I slid a little full on you.
Yeah, you can see that's fully buried as well, so very hard to get to for Stasas Arsuna. Just cleaning the path on our way back to the hack. So basically giving up on that red stone on the wing. We'll look to try and score 2 with her own 2 rocks. That's what we call a skip's deuce. She's able to do that. Coming around the center guard here. So where Bloomberg's broom was the edge of the 12 foot. So expecting it to curl about 6 feet here, which is just great. You'll see it hang out for a long time and then really starts to dig at the end.
It really was quite wide out that wing there, and look at it coming in now.
Yeah, it's just some beautiful finish on the ice here. No need to bring it too deep here. That's pretty perfect. Just nibbling the 4 foot. The more distance from the shot rock to the guard, the easier for Canada to follow. So that is a top-notch draw by the skip. If anything, just pokes out a little bit the other side.
She's just back the skip from, this is her first game. The others have had a couple of games under their belts, but she's here.
Thinking like good, solid half.
Producing a super first shot.
Yeah, based on my feel, it was a little bit how I threw it, but I think it's going to curl. So, actually, almost think that's minimum.
Right, let's check on Korea against the United States. They're in the second end, Sander.
Well, this is a big shot here for Kim Min-ji. It's the angled run back, so going to shoot this corner guard in to try and catch the yellow. That's almost frozen on the forefoot. Very tough shot. Very close. Just had to catch it a hair higher. I think that's going to be a steal of 1 for USA.
They're not afraid of trying these big shots, are they, this team?
Not at all. They make them quite often too.
Yep, so 1-0 there to the United States after 2.
That feels really slow underfoot to me. Yeah, sorry, it's just really.
And Latvia looking in good shape for their 2 here.
Thinking bumper, I thought it was, I mean, they thought it was a little down, but like that's.
Yeah, Chelsea Carey, not sure what happened there. And it just came up light all over the guard. And Stasis Arsuna will get her crack at the skip stews after a nice draw. Made all her shots so far. Pretty impressive, especially if she makes this one. That's a good start. Just coming onto the ice for your first game.
So a stone of the second end here. Latvia going for 2. 1 already counting. Safely in. It's going to rest up just there. And there we go. There's 2 for the skip and for her Latvian team to take them into the lead. A good second end for Latvia. There we go. Latvia 2, Canada 1 after 2. Welcome back to our live coverage from the LGT World Women's Curling Championship 2019. We're in the Silkeborg Sports Centre in Silkeborg in central Denmark, known as the Lake District of the country. Everybody heads here to swim, water ski, do a lot of outdoor activities. But we're inside watching the best curlers in the world contest this world title. And this is the featured game in this round robin. Latvia against Canada. And Latvia lead 2-1 after the first 2 ends. Picking up a deuce in that second end, Latvia. And now it's Canada's turn to go on the offensive and try and get a good score here. But a decent enough start for Latvia. Very much the underdogs in this game, Sander.
Yeah, they've done well. Didn't make any mistakes in that first end. That looked like it was going to be a blank. Chelsea Carey missed the blank attempt. Actually had something going in the second end as well. Never really in any danger. And Stasis Arsuna, the two great draws for the Skips Deuce.
And that gives you such a lift when you make those early draws, doesn't it? Gives you that boost. We'll hold that thought. Let's hop over to Finland, Scotland on sheet A.
Looks like Finland's lying one, so this would be a draw for 2, unless she's ever considering chasing that yellow rock at the back for 3. Not sure if she can see any of it. She might just be playing this path because she knows it. Also, that guard up front is kind of taking away the out-turn draw, so this might just be the straight draw for the 2 points. Sweeper's not on it at all halfway down.
Yeah, they're staying well away. They need it to pull up. They need it to pull up. And it hasn't. It's gone all the way. It's disappointing from a Finnish point of view. It's just the one. You can see by her expression, she knows that was a missed opportunity. 1-1 after 2. Here, Latvia and Canada. And to the second players. Eva Krusta. They wanted that to roll a little bit more over. Dina Ferguson for Canada. His eye on these red stones here. Here's the latest for you on all the sheets. Early days in all the games. And pretty tight at the moment.
Looking to just open up the centre line here, Ferguson.
Yep, hard.
I was hoping to get the second red as well, but it's not too bad there. That red stone is actually protecting the yellow, so just staying patient for now. But Latvia happy to guard that shot stone in the forfeit. Not necessarily that easy to throw a centre guard in the perfect spot either when the ice is curling so much.
Unless it's a high guard.
especially the red stone that was left there, also helping a little bit, covering a bit of the out-turn side or the left-hand side as we see it. So you're not having to be as precise. This one finds a pretty good spot.
It will a little, yeah. Okay.
And we saw how that last one curled from Latvia.
Yep. Whoa. 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 Good
Yeah,
save.
makes a double this time.
Good throw.
Well, unlucky to spin that red onto the rings. Opens up that yellow, so Latvia will make a play on it. They could be lying 3. The good part for Canada is everything will be very much in the open, and that left-hand side is now fully open. Still some rocks left in the end to maybe utilize that corner guard. Especially when you have the last stone. Sometimes you just need to be a little patient. No need to be too upset or afraid to leave opposition stones around. Knowing you have the last stone, you can always make a good draw or a hit. So just a little too thinly for Bloomberger. Quite like to keep those reds a little more centered. Leave them on the wing like that, they're not really a danger at all for Canada.
A bit of a waiting game here for Canada, you sense.
I like that, Sarah. Okay, that's 9-7. Really hard, Dana. Easy. 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 Whoa, close. Whoa. Whoa.
Asking the sweepers to stay off it at the moment.
Hard, Dana. Everything. Go, 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 go. Nice throw, Sarah. Good toss. Good throw, sorry. That's okay.
Looking for more of a roll there over the ring, Sander. Canada.
Yeah, just wanted to get a little more buried. This one not really buried at all. We'll see if Latvia would like to hit this and roll back away from the corner guard, or actually in behind. Oh, high for line at the moment. Didn't roll away. Maybe just rolls away a bit too far. Again, now all those reds on that blue 12-foot circle, so lots of room, lots of real estate, as they might say over in Canada. You can definitely now make that draw around the corner guard, so that patience kind of paying off finally. And this is the chance you need. We saw Stasas Sarsuna pick up a skip Stus in the second end. The draw around the guard. Chelsea Carey will have the same here. Well, the best part, it's a guard that's off the center line, so if she comes around but makes a mistake, we'll still keep that center open.
Not far off my draws in practice, because I was fresher. Yeah, that's exactly,
Yeah, she doesn't need to get drawn into doing anything with those Latvian stones, does she, really?
Make sure we're shot. Okay.
No, they're not really a danger. So much room to draw for the single if they would have to. Also, would be quite late to start hitting them.
You don't want a single though.
Grant needs to sink this one in. Coming pretty close to the guard, should be buried. The question is if it can stay above that tee line, just there. It's on the tee line. It's just a foot or two too heavy, because it makes it a lot easier for Latvia to follow that draw and just sit right in front and get shot stone. If you keep it higher, a nose freeze wouldn't be shot stone for Latvia.
You can see where Santa was pointing the broom there.
Made two good draws in the previous end. Just saw Chelsea Carey throw the draw here. You know, some of the players have stopwatches. They can time the draws, see how quick they're running using different split times, and with that get a good idea of how fast the ice is. It's something especially the front end will keep an eye on at all times and communicate back to their skip. The ice does change, so
Right,
important to keep an eye on it.
While we're waiting for that one to happen, let's hop over to Korea, United States. USA leading 1-0. They're into the third end now. US with the yellow stones.
Yeah, Kim Min-ji with last rock. Looks to be chasing yellow rock here just at the edge of the 8 foot and behind the corner guard. Just waiting for this one to curl. So you see trying to carve it in now just to get the extra finish. Needs to chip out this yellow and stick around for 2. And I think she's got it.
Nicely done, nicely done. One time in our featured game. So Suna tapping off that yellow stone. They are the counting stone, but a hit and stick for Canada, or even a freeze or anything short, then they get their deuce here, bouncing off that yellow one. Latvia giving Canada a real good chance here for 2. The last stone of this third end, Chelsea Carey of Canada.
Off, Dana. Okay, clean, you're good now. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. Clean.
And she hits and sticks 4-2. They get the deuce. Good end from a Canadian point of view. And they take the lead. Latvia 2, Canada 3 after 3.
I just wanted to see it start to curl, and then I was like, okay.
Yeah. Because you had the right way to.
Yeah, it came up.
Yeah.
Good. And so that was the weight. That weight was good.
10-2. Yeah.
Okay.
Good. This way seems to be straighter.
watching live coverage of a featured game at the LGT World Women's Curling Championship. This is Latvia against Canada. We're into end number 4 now, and it's a pretty tight game so far. 3-2 to Canada. Canada having picked up a deuce in that third end. So now Latvia have the hammer, and they will try and construct something in end number 4. They haven't made too many mistakes so far, just with Canada having the advantage of the hammer, able to secure those 2 points in the last end. So getting the guard up. The youngster of the Latvian team, just 15 years old, playing in the World Championship. Here's the accuracy of the players so far in the tournament. 77% for the Canadian lead, Rochelle Brown.
Not moving yet. Here it goes. Line's really good. Yeah, a little hot. Back house.
Canada with 1 win and 1 loss. They lost to Korea in the opening game and then defeated Germany in game number 2. This is game number 3 for them.
Beauty. 13-6.
Nicely placed there by the lead player. They're going to catch this top guard. Yes, they are. That one didn't hit the buffer at the side, so still in play. Dana Ferguson, she's 85%, good numbers for her, the Canadian second.
Oh, we got to roll big here. Trying. Yep. And roll. Okay, good. Good throw.
Good, Dana. Yeah. 9-6. Good. I just bailed to the board.
Labi.
Eva Krusta, she's 80%. Latvian second. Again, was hoping for more of a roll there.
Yeah, I was hoping to roll to the corner of that other yellow.
And it's an easy target for Dana Ferguson. We go over on sheet D now. We have Denmark against Sweden. 2-1 to Sweden. Third end now. You see those 2 reds at the back there of Sander.
Yeah, there's even one on the wing. So Denmark lying 3, but again, no guards and everything's in behind the T line. At least the 2. So should be pretty straightforward for Anna Hasselborg, but you do see this draws missed once in a while. But you can see the sweepers not really panicking here. And it's always nice when they're sweeping, but not too hard. No, it's pretty close. Very much in control here.
Well, they've also got those 2 reds as backing there, haven't they?
Yep.
If need be. Well executed. Looks of Canada watching intently here.
Yeah, I think she might have set this one back just ever so slightly.
Okay.
Sometimes when you release a rock, you end up in a little bit of an in-out action. You kind of force the shot outwards a bit, and then it doesn't come back on you. It's what we call floating throw.
You mean in-out as in the release?
Yeah. So as you let it go, kind of push the stone towards the boards a little bit. And that kind of force counteracts the curl. So if you do that enough, even with the right rotation of the rock, you might see it actually fall.
It's not good numbers for Santa Bloomberga. That's not necessarily a reflection of this game. Latvia did have a very difficult game against Germany. Plenty of time to make up those numbers as the championship progresses. That's the numbers you're after. 86%. Sarah Wilkes, the 3rd for Canada. Although she was a little wayward with her first stone.
It seemed to be a much better throw this time. They just weren't on the sweeping early there. Chelsea Carey just seemed to lose the line call. I'm thinking I might have picked up some debris there. They seem to be pretty happy with it all the way down, and all of a sudden start to curl. Just a lot more than expected, so could have hit something in the ice. Doesn't take much. Have maybe a flat spot even if a player puts a knee down. Kind of melts the pebble away, leaves a little flat surface.
Yeah, the stones are that sensitive, aren't they?
They can be.
Sweeping vigorously here. The front end of this Latvian team, trying to get it into position, trying to get it past this guard.
I had a lot of chances here. It's a pretty perfect setup, even though there's a yellow rock in behind. That's actually a good thing for Latvia. You can freeze onto it for shot rock, fully like buried around the corner. It's pretty ideal, but just not taking the opportunities here.
Over there, though, no? I think that's, yeah, I think that's not bad.
Okay, this throwing is past now a little bit. I guess it can still not be their weight. It's not as good as last game in this one. Okay, yeah. For her right now. Okay, yeah.
Like to be just like on the tee line on the side of the 4-foot over here. That core doesn't kill us.
Okay.
This should curl. I'm thinking it's got to be a pinch slow. No?
Yeah, we're thinking like the same should do this way or a little more. Same's probably pretty close. Yeah, I'm okay with the hair more though.
Yeah, I agree. I think the same is okay, but I don't want to give you any less ever.
I'm okay with the hair more, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, a little less than I wanted. Mine's a little tight. Okay,
Added
we can
more.
go.
That's
Okay,
not bad to me.
T, back 4. Okay. Think we're there, think we're
Line's
there.
fine.
Boom down, boom down. It's really close, yeah.
Line's really good.
4, 4.
They like the line here.
Think you gotta go. Yeah. Hard, fight the T, Dana.
Just wanted to
Hard, push.
bring it a little bit deeper. I want to stay high in the rings so Latvia can play it at that hit and roll. Would have liked that probably on the tee line. That stays high enough for Sasa Sarsuna to make a hit and roll, even a double if they want to. See, there's a lot of cover in behind the red, so either you can roll just next to the yellow, just behind the guard, roll on top, or if you catch it a bit thin, you can just roll right into it and couple of options here.
I haven't seen her make any hits yet.
What you want to do here is not throw so much weight you can roll over the top of the hill. Just throw enough.
%. She has played some very good stones, only been 3 ends. We saw those great draws when they scored their 2 in the second.
They're playing the big weight here to get the double, just 2 thin rolls underneath.
Like, you like the same weight here? I think so. She's okay with her less, I think.
In a perfect world, you're like just top T dead buried, but it doesn't have to be. If it's just top 8, like
Top
half
T.
covered is pretty good. Is this better than
This
that?
passed a titch better,
That's what I
yeah.
thought, okay. So I can give you probably similar then.
I like similar, yeah.
You swept up most of the way, so I think I can give you the same.
And it was top 8, so yeah. That'd be great.
Okay.
Looking for this to finish top tee, you heard them say make life as difficult as possible for Latvia with their final stone. Yep, and that'll do.
Good sweep.
Good.
Yeah, I was hoping to bring it a bit deeper,
I gotta hear
get
more.
a whole chunk of the white 8 foot, but
I'm surprised
sits
at
2,
that.
and
I
that's
thought-
going to force
I thought it was closer.
Latvia to score their single. That's
Didn't give it your
pretty much always the
I
goal
thought I
of an
considered.
end. You're
That's why I
happy
didn't
to
think I
give
wanted to.
your opponent the score of 1 when they have the last stone.
Good shot, Chelsea.
Then
Yeah.
you get the last stone back, try and score 2. That's a pretty standard way of playing it.
That's how it works, invariably.
And if you're lucky, you play a good end, you might get a steal. Well, lots of room for Stasys Sarsuna, and this is the same path. She played the 2 draws on the second end when they scored the 2, so should have a pretty good guess of the weight.
So last stone of the 4th to secure that 1 point for Latvia.
I didn't want to touch it early on, but now sweeping it, and that's right on the button, isn't it?
And a pat on her back from her vice skip there for Stasys Sarsuna. That means it's all square. It's Latvia 3, Canada 3 after 4.
Trešā, otrā. Otro vismaz. Pirmā, otrā. Otro. Spēkam. Pirmā. Aiziet.
Fifth end in this tied game between Latvia and Canada. This round robin encounter, our featured matchup here at the LGT World Women's Curling Championship 2019.
If you come up with the hair, girl.
Now Canada with the hammer and the last stone advantage. Neither team giving too much away. It's been all about the twos and the ones.
Hard to touch it. Hard to touch it. Okay.
Catching that top guard there. Where's it going to finish?
Good throw. Good shot.
Good.
Stone removed.
It's a mistake there, rolling out.
I loved my throw.
Kind of needed to keep that in the house. Clearly, Canada wanting to keep it open, maybe blank this end. And carry the last rock into the even ends. But now leaves Latvia a chance to come around that center guard. That's a pretty long guard, so they might consider even throwing another center guard closer to the rings, just in behind it. Because even if you're fully buried, but let's say top four here, it's very accessible to Canada because of the amount of curl. This is well wide. But we do get another center guard.
That came in more than I thought it was going to. Coming out so wide. Let's hop over to that USA-Korea game again. Fourth end now. 2-1 to Korea. Lots of stones in play.
Yeah, all kinds of trouble for Jamie Sinclair. It looks like she's drawing against 3, and not only that, having to come through a very snug port on the outturn. This will be a team shot here, needing to communicate the line and wait perfectly. Sounds pretty close. So need to come off that corner guard. They are through the port. Will it hit in time? It does.
What a lovely shot from Jamie Sinclair. Give the team a bit of a lift there. They played 4 now, 2-2. So down the other side, wide as well, beginning to come in now. Is it going to catch this guard? It does. That swing in was just... a downfall there. Look how much it came over.
Well, this hand has certainly changed a bit from what seemed to be the plan for Canada. And maybe blanket. 3 center guards, so game on. This is heavy from Dana Ferguson. It's not far away, but just a foot too deep. He really didn't need.
Good job.
Latvia can put one right on top here.
Yeah,
They're in all kinds of trouble.
Iveta with the broom there. And that LGT sign.
Yep.
So Alexander Berger can do. Can she get it into that position? And taps it.
Yeah, it does stay for shot stone. That's the only upside here.
It's very accessible though.
And the only good part is even if Sarah Wilkes makes a good one here, she might leave her shooter, if not behind the tee line, just right on the tee line. And Latvia could probably freeze again. So I don't know if they're trying to roll away with this one. Or just hit it right on the nose. Don't want to roll too far. You could hear Chelsea Carey say, because if they had rolled another foot there, they'd be overburied and even just behind the tee line. So that's as good as she could do there, Sarah Wilkes. But still, it's right on the tee line. Latvia can freeze it or even make a small tap. It's not ideal yet for Canada. You never really like to play around a center guard when you have the last stone, because you make one wrong move and your opposition makes a good one. You're in so much trouble. I think we've seen that in the mixed doubles discipline, where you have a lot of rocks in around the forefoot. You end up with a lot of steals. It's just very hard to manage. You never have the bailout shot as much.
This is looking at better than the last one, but it's... There was a tap, but it's gone too far around, hasn't it?
Yeah, leaves Canada sitting one. Does close down the scoring area a bit for Canada, but they're going to now look to corner freeze the red. And that'd be really good for Sarah Wilkes.
Top four. Wait on me. Top four. Like to go. Gotta go soon.
Rochelle, did you need to go?
So different
Just top four.
Both of you go then.
Top eight.
end emerging
Top eight.
between these two
Okay,
teams.
whoa.
Just top eight.
And number 5
Just top eight.
Okay, that's
is
fine.
blocking the pathway in. Over to Denmark, Sweden again. 3-1, Sweden with the yellow stones counting there.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Skip Madeleine Dupont is looking to score here. It might just be a shot to give away one. She's hitting the back one here. Not sure if she can spring across and roll in for shot stone. So it's just killing one yellow and just giving away the single point.
Bit of damage limitation there. 4-1 down after 4. So here, Canada with the shot stone. Making life quite difficult for Latvia here. With that guard. So ideally, she wants to curl this one in. And rest on top of that yellow, making sure she is shot stone. Or is she blocking the the routine. She is getting a guard up there. Doesn't want it to come around too much.
Does give Chelsea Carey a chance here to make the draw and around everything. But of course, if that's missed, Latvia could just guard the right-hand side. It'd be very hard for Canada to score more than the single.
But if you have the line,
so this needs to be just pretty perfect.
Okay, this is a newer path?
This is wider, yeah.
Okay.
So probably slower?
Yeah.
Probably what I threw in the last end.
Yeah, you're okay with that.
Okay.
He has a communication between the skip and the front end. Coming a bit wider, expecting it to maybe be a bit slower because they haven't really played as much down this path. It hasn't been swept as much. The pebble hasn't been broken down. Might be a tiny bit of frost or just a combination of the all three.
Mine's good.
Top 8. Top 8. Easy. Okay.
Wait only.
Top 8.
Yeah, you can go now.
Yep.
Hard now.
Hard.
Just waited a bit too long.
Okay.
Yeah.
I really sorry.
Still not easy for Latvia here.
No, I'll be quite happy for to just leave Canada score the single here, though. And I'm not sure if they need any heroics. Just maybe take away the shot that's there for two. Well, as it lies, there's not really any easy shot for two here for Canada.
She doesn't want to make the situation worse for Latvia, though, by making a mistake of some kind that might leave things a little bit more open for Canada to get that too. So
yeah, I agree. You definitely don't want to
ruffle things up too much.
Yeah, because there's quite a lot of yellows in play here around the house. So they're looking to play a promotion on this redstone on the far left. They are taking quite a lot of ice, so expecting them to just play a fairly quiet weight, which is good. You don't want to throw too much weight here and rattle too many things around. You might end up exposing your own second shot somehow. That's quite a bit of weight. So it might be a bit too much if they're expecting that much curl. What's going to happen here? That's close.
Ooh.
That's a pretty good effort.
It really is by the Latvian skip.
Yeah, that's it's not for shot stone, but that puts another red into the forfeit. Not sure what Chelsea Carey called, but I think it might just be the throwaway. I don't think there's a shot to score two here. Not that I had a proper look, but
yeah, they don't want to play with what they've already got either.
No. Yeah, I can't really see. I mean, if you had to for the win, yeah, I might have to make some kind of combination raise, but
not in end number 5.
No, it's not really on. So you don't see this very often, but sometimes that's the only thing you can do. Just throw away the rock, take your single.
And that's what she's done, and Latvia did enough to restrict Canada there. They'll be pleased with that, but it's still another point on the board for Canada as they head into the halftime break. It's Latvia 3, Canada 4.
She's just not setting it at all.
Second end. Latvia already with one counting there. Iveta Stasa Sorsuna with a chance to make it 2. And a really nice draw from her. Safely in, and Latvia lead 2-1 after 2. This time Latvia flying 1. Leading Canada with a straightforward hit for their deuce. Well executed by Chelsea Carey. Canada now lead 3-2. And in the fourth end, Canada with 2 stones lying in the house. And Stasa Sorsuna with another very well judged draw. Pulls her team level, 3-3. To 5, it's a 4-3 lead for Canada. There's the latest in the other games. Finland 1, Scotland 2, Korea 2, United States 2. We're 3-4 in our featured game, and it's Denmark 1, Sweden 4.
Un tas pats, kas pirms spēles bija, ja? Jūs visu laiku, tā kā, man liekas, laikus prasiet tādus jau, kas ir tīlains bez beršanas. Un jūs pasakat 4. un mierīgi aizbersat uz 7. Un tā, ka jūs sakat 7, tad tas nozīmē...
Straighter. Foot plus. Yeah.
Is it crazy? The first time I threw it last night,
Yeah. I threw that hit and was like, it was like good, and then it just like didn't move an inch.
You guys got it figured out though.
Yeah.
Good with
Yeah.
the line and stuff.
Yeah, we've been throwing
You
it.
still counted, I think, eh?
Yeah, I think so. We've been throwing for ticks. We've just been using my other rock.
Looking at the stats, you see Latvia actually outplaying Canada by 4%. It's, yeah, paints the picture really. Both teams have been making a decent amount of shots. They're pretty close on the scoreboard. Latvia down 1 with hammer, which is essentially a tie in curling. No stolen points. I think Canada's going to have to up their game a bit. They are expected to win this one, so it's good on Latvia so far through 5 ends.
So we're into the 6th end of this round-robin game between Latvia and Canada, our featured game at the LGT World Women's Curling Championship 2019. I'm Alison Walker, alongside me Sandra Novak, bringing you live commentary on the whole of this game and updates from elsewhere. It is a very close game indeed, and Latvia playing that first half of the game very well. 93% for the young Latvian lead. It's been very solid, and they must be very pleased with that first half performance, Sander.
Yeah, I think so. You know, 5.5 time. You'd think their coach would say, yeah, just keep it up. More of the same for Canada, I think. I don't know, maybe bring the energy level up a little bit of the focus.
You think they're a little bit flat?
A little flat, maybe. It's the most dangerous thing you can do in curling is go out on the ice and expect to win a game. You'll always play worse. And if you expect your opponent to maybe make mistakes here and there, and they don't, it's frustrating.
But you have to have belief.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, there's...
It's just if you're not playing up to your normal, expected level, it's always frustrating. So you just need to be patient and not let it irritate you, and just keep on going. And halftime break is always good for a snack or two as well.
Yep, get the energy levels back up, fueled up. Don't eat too much, just enough to get you through the next 5 ends, or potentially an extra end as well.
Yeah, bananas are always a good
They
option.
seem to be the most common food resource used in curling.
Just clipping the centre guard here. Unfortunate. It rolls in onto the rings here, so that's a good weight choice. Not wasting that rock. But sadly doesn't move the centre guard very far, just enough to open up the shot stone.
Dina Ferguson going well, 90% for this game and 85 overall for the first 2 games. Eva Krusta, she's 83%, the Latvian second, so also going well in this game. Just keeping the playing levels up, doing the simple things well here. Take their chances when they get them. Pass the guard this time and rolls into a nice position.
The other thing that's hard when you're wearing the maple leaf is you have a target on your back, so every team will be very pumped up to play you, and they'll try to play their very best, and quite often teams will play their best games against a team like Canada or Sweden and so on. So especially when you have that pedigree, or you have that that fame really for being a good team, everyone wants to step up and do their very best, so that makes it really hard.
And that's the same in most sports, where you get the favourites, the ones that take all the glory. You raise your game, you raise your team performance, and you want to show that you're as good as them, and you can potentially beat them. So you're right. So it's an extra pressure for Canada. I think we're set for a really good finish to this game, but let's see what's happening in the Denmark-Sweden game, Sander. 4-1 up, Sweden, 5th end.
Yeah, Madeline DuPont. Just a shot for one here, I think. Lots of rotation. Actually might be looking for the double here to spring across. Just doesn't have enough weight. So it's just a 1 for Denmark, but they're still in it. So Sweden leads at 4-2 after 5.
Yep, another close game. And 4-3 here. Latvia Canada game. As you can see behind Sarah Wilkes there, who's on 75% for this game, so a little bit lower than her teammates. So how's this one looking?
Well, a bit shy for Wheat. It seems Sarah Wilkes come up a bit shy on a couple of draws in this game. Leaves it in a spot where they can promote it, but again, just not really creating anything. Canada just not setting up the ends too well. Definitely not taking the chances when they get them.
Bloomberger, she's 70%, so she has improved throughout the game and improved on her performances in previous games as well.
She played the skip in the first couple of games, and you're always a little extra penalised. You're going to be left a lot of tough shots. And
oh, squeezes it through there nicely.
Yeah.
Yep.
That is, yeah, that's pretty snug.
That was a peachy shot from the Latvian player. She didn't have a lot of room for manoeuvre.
They should run straight, eh?
I think it might curl a little, not a ton.
You threw here before.
So run back now called by Canada. They throw again, just really big weight. It's going to run very straight. Trying to catch this guard, run it right onto the Reds. It's got to be close. Oh, there you go.
Whoa.
Brilliant shot.
Really, really well executed. She's smiling at last. Sarah Wilkes.
Yeah, that's the kind of shots you expect to see from Canada. Just haven't been seeing them so far this evening.
And they were in a bit of a pickle, so that's cleared things up for them a little bit. Away it goes. Through that hole there and out to the wings. Fantastic.
That's butt still.
And 3 yellows counting there for Canada.
Yeah. Jeez, she comes through that friggin' hole that wasn't there. Like it's just.
Let's give you an update on all the action there. You can see Finland and Scotland 2 apiece, 6 end. And you'll see leading Korea in 6 as well. And Denmark and Sweden, 4-2 to Sweden. And that one on sheet D. Oh, she played a nice one. And the last shot, how's this? And the weight on it. Looking for the double here too. And very nicely done by Latvia.
That's one of the options. I was hoping to maybe catch the top yellow or make the roll. Ends up sticking on the back one. Doesn't get shot stone though. But certainly a bit of less pressure on Stasa Sarsune. With less yellows in there.
Pretty good response to Sarah Wilkes'
I
double.
think your ice is probably close though, right?
You got it.
You guys like this?
Yeah.
Top button.
Okay, okay. I'm thinking this path is similar to the path you threw here. It's
not
the
quite
wide
good.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's proportional.
Yeah. Okay.
So on to the skip stones now, and Chelsea Carey only 67% for this game, so she's a little bit down on how she's been playing. Skipping, Super staying well off this one, and on it goes, and on it goes, and on it goes. And you can tell by the expression there, it was not the plan.
Okay.
So, little opportunity perhaps here for Latvia.
Desmitnieks, Ieva, meita desmitnieka, bet šitā ļoti grib. Okay. Tai labāk birstēt nekā nevirstēt, ja?
Stumjam viņu ārā?
Jā.
Bet tā kā mūsējais, lai tur paliek?
Jā, viņas tur, bet var arī tur.
Var arī tur.
Bet nē, saprot, viņš tad iet iekšā aizmugurējā.
Jā.
Atreiz tas aizmugurējais ir tālāk par to otru mūsēju, jo tā kā labāk ir tā, ka mūsējais atlet.
Jā, labi. Cik
lai viņa iet ar savu vēl vienu.
Jā.
Cik? Bort?
10.
10? Nē.
Ok, labi.
Viņš krīt tur.
10, 11.
Tu tuvāk vienīgi.
She has played well, Iveta, 88%.
Seems to be quite a bit of weight here. You're going to have to catch quite a big piece of the yellow here to stick around. They don't. I think that was probably a bit too much weight. Does do the main objective and removes that yellow. Would have liked to see a bit less weight there, trying to hang around.
But objective number one was to get rid of the yellow, right?
Yeah. Chelsea Carey gets a second go though here at the draw. Rarely see Chelsea Carey miss 2 forfeit draws in a row. And that's why if Latvia could have kept their shooter, they could have kept it in a spot where they could have promoted it or maybe come off of it. Now both their stones are behind the tee line, so they can't really be used. And there's not really any other rocks up front they can use either. So if Chelsea Carey is able to sink this one perfectly in behind the guard, I'm not sure if Latvia can get to it.
It's all about where this yellow one finishes here.
Gotta be there. Go.
Strike as much as they can.
Sorry.
Just not enough.
Overcorrection there, heavy on the first one, short on the second. So classic.
Yeah, often happens, doesn't it? How do you get that middle ground?
Just should be happy they got in there for second shot. That pulls up half a foot shorter. It's a draw for 3, I think, if that red one's out counting the back yellow.
Sorry.
No.
I don't know what's going on.
I think it's only 2, draw for 2.
Yeah, now it is. But
yeah, they've just got it another couple of centimetres.
yeah, because I think the back red's out counting the back yellow. So if you come up just a few inches shorter, could have been a draw for 3. The draw for 2 still needs to be made though.
Oops. A little wobble there. Latvian skip. Hope that hasn't affected.
Well, looking pretty wide. So you might Might catch a whole bit of pebble here. The sweepers were thinking it was heavy. They do have backing potentially if they can get curl enough onto their back red here. Well, I think this will work out fine.
Yep. Slight panic initially, but they secure the 2 there. Good 2 counting stones for Latvia. Keep them right in this game. They take the lead again after 6 ends. Latvia 5, Canada 4.
Bet mums ir jāspēlē ātrāk. Mēs ilgi domājam uz katru. Vienkārši pamēģinām tie uzspēlēt.
On to end number 7. Latvia against Canada. There's the numbers so far. All about the 2s and the 1s. Neither team able to extend the lead. One goes in front, the other one catches up, takes over and back, and now it's Canada hoping to build in this end. So a couple of really good doubles in end number 6. And definitely the players look as if they've upped their game in part 2 of this round robin encounter. And Chelsea Carey a bit off Sander with her shots in that last end.
Yeah, I said you don't often see Chelsea Carey missed a 4-foot twice in a row, but it happened. She can't afford to make those kind of mistakes. And the end's coming up. Just one down with last stone, but yeah, you would expect a bit more from Canada this evening, and maybe especially Chelsea Carey. Very nice setup by the young lead again.
Yeah, not looking too phased by the big stage so far.
Only 15.
Yeah. Can I touch less?
I think this is gonna.
If this was a different sport, you might be drafted by a different country.
Okay, I'll throw it good here.
We haven't quite gotten there yet, where teams consist of different nationality players. There are some, but not very common, because of course the common goals for most curling teams would be to make it to the World Championship and Olympic Games.
We do see coaches from different countries going to help other teams around the world, and There's Korea against the United States. Now, sheet B, 3-2, last stone. Here goes Minji Kim again, Kim Minji rather.
I don't think that scoreline's going to stay the same for too long. It's a draw for 2 here for Kim Min-ji. You can see only the one sweeper on it, so no panic. Don't have to watch the weight, just watch the sweepers. You'll understand how well it's going. This one right on the tee line. Beautiful draw, and it's a score of 2 for Korea.
Definitely the team to watch here. The informed team. Korea and China going well in these World Championships. Yep, succeed in shifting their own. No impact on the stones in the house for Canada. Those 3 reds still clustered. Off to sheet D, Sweden and Denmark. Sweden leading 4-2. 6th end.
Yeah, Anna Hasselborg looking to run this top yellow stone back onto the Danish shot stone. That's right on the button. It's currently lying 2nd and 3rd, so this is potentially to score 3. Don't have a lot of room though. Catch this just a hair too high, you end up catching your own yellows. Don't think there's any danger playing it. Just want to make contact with the red at least. When you score 2, this is really getting close. And there we go.
Oh, nice shot from Hasselborg.
Oh, is it me? No.
Is it?
I think it's 3.
Three. What a boost for Sweden in that end. 7-2 lead now, after 6. That's a good gap ahead. We're very close in our game though, Latvia and Canada. Canada with the last stone advantage. Looks targeting the 2 reds. Guard. And 1 in the house removed.
How much I respect it. He's just throwing up a dart.
Trying to replace that guard in that gap. And just drifted a bit more to one side. And plenty of room for manoeuvre for Canada.
Okay, really? Line's good. In right now. All there right now. Line's close. Top 4. Line's great. Yep. Top 4, top 8. Hard line. Top 8. Gotta be 8 foot. Go, go, go. Line's perfect. Fully. Never off. Never off. You got a good one. Go, 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 go. Every inch, every inch, every inch. Great sweep, guys. That spot's bad too, eh?
It's heavy everywhere.
I whipped, yeah. Oh my gosh.
It's really hard.
Sweeping. Great shots there.
Like, oh, there
I
you're
threw
like,
that very
maybe
high. No,
really
this is a
bad.
disaster. Astoņas. Šitā. Astoņas rast. Man nedrīkst atlikt. Nevar atlikt, jā. Tas viņai. Tad tu met tā, lai neatlikt.
Es vienkārši metu piekto zonu.
Piekto. Jā.
Piekto zonu. Jūs varat piebērst, jā, viņu klāt, var aizvarbūt uz zīmi. Viņš nedrīkst atlikt. Jo tur vienā vietā ļoti kaut kāds tik pleķis krīt kaut kas. 8?
Jā.
Every player has a different way of composing themselves in this setup for delivery.
Līnija laba. Neko. Līnijas vispār nav. Līnijas vispār nav. Evelīna, cik dziļi var? Cik dziļi var? Jā, viss ceļ. Okay.
An update for you there on the latest in all the games in this session. Scotland 4-2 on Finland now. And Korea 4-3 on the US.
Yeah, it's not bad.
As you saw
Just sit too,
a short time ago, Sweden leading Denmark now 7-2. Apart from
Probably ideal is just
the
top
Sweden
2, but as
game,
long as you
everything
sit to it,
pretty
good.
tight
I think this spot will be decent.
all through the
I
games.
said stand.
Okay. I'm thinking.
Like, can I give you the same top 8 weight I threw here, or is that still too much?
No, I like that. I like that.
Okay.
Not looking to split the rings really here. Chelsea carry.
Okay, top 8.
Line's good.
Already lying the 1. Looks
Line's
that's
good. Line's good.
in a pretty safe spot for the time being. So just putting this on the opposite side of the house.
Back 8.
Needs to sit for second shot though. Maybe overcooked this one.
Yep, we saw one like that earlier.
And that's not really helping your skip. Struggling a bit with for draw weight today. You don't want to be over sweeping a draw that's made. It's just kind of making things a bit worse. Not sure what happened there if
Sorry. It's okay.
they were calling on for line and the sweepers went.
If I was top 8, you couldn't hear that.
Mums nav laika.
Hard to tell if you can make the run here. So obviously looking to run the red onto the yellow, but there's a couple of catchers. It might not be so easy to remove that yellow. It might be run directly onto that red stone to the right.
Is there another option?
Well, maybe not a lot. A good thing here, you could maybe roll the shooter in to the 8 foot as well. one really curling. Need to be past the guard. Not sure if they are. No, but if anything, does open it up ever so slightly. It doesn't really change a whole lot.
That's what she's saying. Well, at least we've opened things up.
So same draw again for Chelsea Carey.
If the weight's close, Dana, it can't hurt you to be on this. Like, it's never going to undercurl anything, but you don't have to, just if the weight's good.
Okay.
So last stone of the 7th end.
Hey, all there right now. Clean it. Clean it.
All you, line's good, line's good.
You need this? Yeah.
Well then.
Yeah, they seem a little bit happier with this one.
Okay. We're definitely tapping that. Yep.
You're okay.
Well,
You're good.
we're tapping it.
You're good.
Good. Close there. Yeah.
Yeah, just
Ready
right,
with one.
Nice, Chelsea.
Good job.
just right down onto their own yellow there.
So turning out okay for Canada there. Back into the lead they go. Swaps again. Latvia 5, Canada 6.
Okay, well, either that past one, but it was rougher a lot better.
Well, I think that path is the nicest path on the sheet.
Yeah,
I thought that on
okay.
my first one. I was nervous to throw you
Yeah.
as much weight because it's just the ones that are coming into the sludge, and this path is straight, so it's
Okay.
not so bad.
Yeah.
Good. That's okay. Good job. Good in. Nice juice, guys. That was big. Line's good.
Weight's a little up.
Very well done.
I think we're tight.
Not moving yet.
Okay. 2.5, 3.
Really not curling yet.
We're on to the 8th end now of our live coverage from the LGT World Women's Curling Championship 2019. This is Latvia against Canada in the Silkeborg Sports Centre.
Good.
Alison Walker and Sander Rovag bringing you all the action, updates from elsewhere, and this really has been a bit of an intriguing tussle between these two. The giants of curling, that is the country Canada against Latvia, with only 200 curlers, and they're very much holding their own against a very good Canadian team. So what's going to happen, Sander, in these last few ends, I wonder?
Well, not a psychic, but
you know these things.
It's been pretty close so far, but you would maybe expect Canada's experience to start showing in the last couple of ends.
Yeah, roll, even big's good.
Here's the comparison of leads, and Evelina, the youngster, performing exceptionally well.
Yeah, but now a tiny mistake here, slipping into the rings. Good part is we got the 5 rock rule now, so she might get a second chance of putting up a corner guard if Latvia wants to. As we see a very nice hit and roll
shot, Rochelle. Good sweep.
And that is good.
I guess the time to play your A game is in the last few ends. If there had to be a choice, you want to perform really well in those last few ends, try and get the win. Use your experience of being in these positions.
Oh, corner guard in place this time. It is Canada, who's ranked second in the world behind Sweden at the moment for women's curling. Latvia is ranked number 17.
But sport can throw up all sorts of results at different times, and particularly in round robins where teams peak at different times, and as we were saying earlier, teams up their game against Canada. So Canada really have to be on it just about all of the time. Seconds for both teams. And Dana having a good game.
Oh, you're welcome.
We'll hop over to Korea, USA. On sheet B, USA drawing for 2 here.
Should be pretty straightforward, lots of room to work with. 2 good sweepers. Having to go a bit for a line here just to make sure they're past the top red, actually. Gets a little rub. A little more scary than they had to be, but it's good for 2.
Yep, worked out. 5-4 after 7.
And a pretty good cleanup job by Eva Krusta here.
Yeah, we had a bit of lots of granite noises going on there while we were watching the other game. You go away for a second and nearly everything's gone.
If you roll out, great. If you stick over here, good.
Canada's going to remove the only danger rock for them at the moment, and that's the corner guard. So Latvia might not be left with a lot to work with. But it wasn't looking very good at the start of this end, so might be happy to leave the 8th end with a blank if that were to happen. Keeps the shooter in play. Here, Chelsea carry if, say, if they kept the shooter in play over here, meaning around the center line, it'd be okay. I'd be quite tempted to just roll out. The blank here wouldn't be too bad for Canada. Maybe force Latvia into 9, come home tied with hammer.
No roll there to speak of. The third's a little bit below their overall percentages that they might expect. Mid-70s. Number slightly up on Sarah Wilkes.
Yep. Oh. You're good. Good, Sarah. Atta girl.
Good one, Sarah. Shot, Sarah.
Executes that one.
big deal.
Okay.
So on to the skip stones in number 8. And away they both go.
Good.
Good, Chelsea.
Good
Good
feet.
shot, Chelsea.
Good brush. Good brush. Thanks.
There's a difference in the 2 skips in this game. 79% overall for Sasasasuni and Kerry 62%.
Lātāk. Cik vajag?
Canada still leading.
Mini lapa. Pietā. 87. Pēc 2 paskatā. Uz beigām. Nē,
Mājas
Pietā,
sākums.
6. Pats 6, 7.
Pirms. O.
Vārsies.
One game has finished in this session. And after that Super 3 for Sweden, that was enough really. 7-3, the final score over Denmark, beating the hosts here. And the champions back on track. Looking in good shape going into their next game. But this one, still too close to call as yet. Running out of ends.
Okay. 10. No, 9, 8.
Yep. Yes! Hard!
Is this going to hang about? It is. It's nibbling on that
Or it'll jump like crazy.
outside edge. And so the Latvian skip
Jumped pretty good, eh?
Jā.
will hope to just clear the decks,
Me too.
making sure she plays it.
Won't have to roll very far here. That's the good part. A foot would do on the high side.
These are bread and butter shots. They still have to make sure they do the job. So last stone of this 8th end.
Neko nesaprotam, vai ko vajag.
Oh, and it stayed there. So it's 1 for Latvia, which squares things up.
Nesaprotam, vai vajag bet vai nevajag.
6-6 after 8 ends.
Man liekas arī, ka
Jā, es arī domāju.
vai vienu ņemt, jo viņus mums neļauj tad. Nu, 9 apiem 2. Jā. Bet tagad viņus jau mēģinās papēties.
There's the numbers for you. So far in this game, it's been close all the way in our featured matchup between Latvia and Canada. Latvia more than holding their own, taking Canada all the way here. Canada with the hammer in this 9th end. And will their experience and their knowledge carry them through to the finish line?
Line's really good.
And to get a couple of points in this end, a couple of stones. And then Latvia have to do the same. We could be set for an extra end. But a lot still to happen before that. Important to keep the energy levels going. Been on the ice for a long time now. This is the business end. This is when it really matters. So 9th end, Sando, which team's position would you rather be in at this stage?
Well, Canada do have the last stone advantage here. I would say I definitely want to be them, but it's still pretty close. If Latvia can get a force on Canada here, they'll be going home with hammer, could score a 2, so it's very even.
And it's 5-4 USA over Korea. That's close as well. 8th end now. US counting 1.
Yeah, not for much longer, I think. Kim and G will be looking for the nose hit to score 2 here. Has the second shot on the wing. Just trying to keep the line straight here, looking pretty good for Korea.
Couple of ends to go. It's 6-5 Korea. Very tight indeed.
Oh, apology there from Eva Krusta. I think they wanted a center guard there. Didn't want to group the reds anyway.
I think this is probably ideal.
Okay.
Firm or normal?
I think firm.
This is where you can't afford mistakes. 9th end. Things you might have got away with in the first few. Everything really does matter now. Every shot, every stone.
Firm.
No. Yep, double. Yep. That's good, Dana.
Nice double from Dana Ferguson. So there you have it so far. 4-3 Scotland over Finland. 8th end, Korea and US, as you've just seen, and Denmark and Sweden is over. Victory for Sweden there. So 3 games still going on inside the arena. And all of them fairly tightly poised. Everyone look at the intent gazes there from different angles from the players. Looking for the roll out.
Sorry, bag flat.
Ko tad tu gribēji? A kāds tad tev plāns?
Just rolling underneath, very close. And that stone,
Yeah, it ran pretty good.
which I believe is on the rings.
Depends which way you look at it, which angle.
If you're Latvia or Canada.
Wait slow, T. Little up
Yeah, it's
right
the most outer part of the rock that counts. The striking band.
No.
A bit hard to tell from our perspective, but if that's on the rings, could be huge for Canada.
Yeah, the base might not be on, but the circular bit, if you like, with it sticking out.
All right.
It does look in there from this angle.
Good here. You got a 90.
Comes up pretty deep here, Tina Ferguson. The good part is so deep, it's actually leaving Canada quite a lot of separation here.
That was close to Chelsea's pass, though, and Chelsea's ran really well. Yeah.
So what do Latvia do here?
Well, they do have an angle here to potentially play a double, come off this yellow, at least try and roll closer. You want to try and group these yellows now, and you do that by playing the hit and roll, leaving the shooter in play, hope that Canada can make the hit and roll back and maybe get a double, but there's enough angle here to maybe make it already.
She was close with her last one.
This one needing to curl. Doesn't stick around though.
It looks in there, certainly.
Yeah, I like that.
Sarah Wilkes.
Oh, clean.
Even 8-8.
Yep.
Yep. Well, yep.
Yep.
After that Latvian red that we've just seen
Clean.
positioned. She'll hit and stick there too.
What's that, Chelsea?
And you just feel that Canada have a little bit of spring in their step at the moment. There's more smiles, there's more good body language. So how's this one looking this time? What's it all like? What's it all like?
Wow, look at that.
That's a super shot from the Latvian player, that really is. That certainly asked the question. Yep, smiles all around. I made it. Well done. Encouragement from the skip there. Just getting the right angle there. And it goes and hits the yellow out. Important shot there for Latvia.
Line's tight.
Okay. Top 8.
Gotta go.
Okay. Top 4. Room. Top 8. Top 4.
Hard line.
Don't want to. Okay. Room.
You're
Top
by,
8.
you're
Gotta
by,
go.
you're by, you're by.
Okay.
Yep.
Gotta go.
Hard. Line's great. Go, 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 go.
Safely past that guard.
Go, 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 go.
Sweeper's really doing well there to get that into position. Yep, expelling lots of energy there.
I got to a new octave there. Gotta go.
I think that was a timeout called by Stasa Sarsune. And you can see the time from Bloomberg as well. The T. We're gonna have a chat here.
Viņu baigi maz redz. Cik viņi redzot tā galva? Es apskatīšos, man liekas, viņi vispār neredz.
Vajadzētu viņu redzēt.
Sīs to malu un rotas cen.
Bet
Viņas liks vēl vienu.
Jā, ok, bet viņam, es saprotu, kāda jēga sist to malai, jo mums jau ir tuvāk.
Un viņi netiek viņu klāt.
Un viņa netiek viņam klāt.
Nu labi,
Mums ir
mēs
kaut kas-
uzliekam korneru frīzētam augšām,
Evelīna!
zāpējam.
Jā, un tad
Aizmēs
mēs-
viņu aizmest, man šeit, ka nevaram.
Nu, faktiski neredz. Varbūt 1 centimetru.
Čau! Korneru frīzes augšā, mēs paiz, vai nu...
Jā. Piespiest uz viens ir piespiest uz -1 ir ok. Nu, jums -1, viņām 1.
Jā.
Tas ir ok. Tas, ko mēs gribam. Bet tikai neatlekt. Tad var laist arī tām virsū.
Tā kā šeit?
Jā, nu, ja redz, ja teiksim, labāk ir kļūdīties.
Primārais ir šī,
Jā.
vai šeit?
Primārais ir tur,
Šitai te, jā. Te.
bet nevis, teiksim, lai neuzsitās pie sarga vai
Bet
neatlēts.
viņu liks aiziet, kurā gadījumā?
Jā.
Lai liek,
Nu, bet kā, ko tad mēs darīsim?
Mēs arī liksim.
mēs arī liksim. Tad ir pie dzeltenā, primārais ir pie
Tas
dzeltenā.
variants ir šeit.
Jā.
Ok.
Kā jūties labāk? Varbūt tu gribi tur likt uzreiz.
Mums ir jābūt tuvāk par to
Varbūt
primāru.
šita un primārais šita un nekā
Turot, ja es
šita.
uzlikšu pa plātumu, viņi visi dubulto būs 3.
Jā.
Tāpēc labāk ir korneri.
Corner frīzā, tu
Jā.
domā
Jā,
tam
jā,
klāt.
jā.
Es piekrītu, tad primārais ir corner frīzā. Ja gadījumā ir rezerves variants, ir uz turieni.
Šitā.
B variants, jā?
Tāda līnija. Viņi tur
Jā.
rādīja.
Nu, viņi rādīja kaut kā šitā. Okay.
Bet sliktākais variants nevajadzētu atlekt, jā? Tad pingpongs runāšana, jā?
Tāpēc es domāju, lai man nav pa plātu, lai es neatlēktu. Es domāju, es drīzāk
Some
rādīšu.
thoughts there of Carlos Smilga.
Jātiek garām sargam.
I heard the words
Pasties dziļāk.
corner freeze a lot there, Sander.
Piekto zonu, jā. Rokai.
Yeah,
Ja kāds,
that
mēs
is
velkam aiz.
pretty hard to do, to be honest. And that's just because the Yellowstone is so far up in the house. It's top 8. Now you could corner freeze it, but it's just very hard to do it and get shot stone.
Cik tā zona, cik
Of course, you could corner freeze it now and
plātāk paliek.
be able to make a play on it later.
Maybe that's what he was suggesting.
Could come fully around the yellow. You could run the guard back.
Piekto zonu.
You still have that nibbler on the wing.
Let's just see this one from Latvia, and then we'll just quickly glance over to that Finland-Scotland game.
Well, it's Finland with shots thrown in the forfeit, but look at all those yellows in around. Not sure if they can get to the red here, Lauren Gray, and maybe punch it out in between the yellows. We'll see if it's just the safe for one. They might be able to tap this straight back through the goalpost, so to speak. Trying. And that is good, at least for 3, I think.
Not such a good effort from Lauren Gray there of Scotland. Meantime, in our game here, Saza Sarsuni freezing up against her other red at the back of the house there.
I just hate guessing at speed.
Stones all down in that similar line.
It's just pretty precise. Like, over
From the
here, it's
guard
bad,
downwards.
right? So, okay, I need some ice for this, I think. Like, that's probably minimum.
I like it, Chelsea. You got it. I think we have to assume it's like the pass you threw in here. Something was like sloppy.
I think this will be similar to Sarah's.
Yeah.
Around this corner, right?
Yeah. It didn't run very good. No, I think it's gonna come down in the house. Like, yeah. Maybe like 4 feet more. Yeah. Where's ideal, Chelsea? Back 8?
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't you sense it's getting quite tense out there now?
Top 14!
A lot more time taking over shots.
Back
Denmark's game's finished as well, so a few fans have gone home. It's a little bit quiet, a little bit eerie almost, and arena this evening.
Yeah, that adds to the tension, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, just feel like you can hear a pin drop. It's almost like you're playing a final. You feel like everyone's just watching you. So they're able to set 2 here.
Supers doing their stuff again for Canada.
Hopefully that's close, yeah.
Now you know, though, how that
Oh
feels.
man, that's terrifying to throw.
It is.
Piirrelin, okei, bet mun siapuolet. Ja.
So Canada with the hammer in this end, with the last stone advantage.
Bet nu jāberž.
Latvia doing all they can to restrict their options and gaining points.
You're trying to hit this one, roll across, in behind cover. You could even roll right on top of your own red. This one will need to curl.
Always difficult to tell from her reaction in her face whether she's happy or not.
Actually catches the wrong side.
Yeah, completely the wrong side. Yeah, nearly, well, played exceptionally well in this game, this Latvian team.
That's why I thought a little more. I don't think it'll change the speed much, taking a pinch more.
Okay, just still have to produce the shots here.
I like this better. We can actually sweep it. Do you guys prefer this to the other one? Okay.
Yeah, we know both now, so.
Yeah, it's hard to throw it that hard.
Yeah, agree. It's hard to sweep it when it looks like half.
Yeah. Okay. So this will be the nice stuff.
Yeah.
Like same as my 2 in 7?
Yeah. Same speed.
So last stone of the 9th. Already with 1 counting.
Hey, all there, don't want to.
Don't need to.
Where are you?
Line's good.
Back 8.
All you.
Okay, it's coming down.
Yep.
We're good. Hard.
Quick.
Hard. You gotta go. You gotta roll it.
Roll it
Is it
off.
going to catch this other yellow? It is, but it's okay. It's okay. It's 2 for Canada. And that means they have a 2-shot lead going into the final end. Latvia 6, Canada 8 after 9.
Good. Nice end, guys. Good juice.
That was one of the craziest.
That was a pistol, yeah. I rolled up buried. I was like, come on, man. There, she's making everything now. Okay.
One in to go then. Well,
Not curling at all.
potentially not, but this is the 10th end of our game between Latvia and Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the wrong rock.
Okay, great.
Again, Canada with a 2-shot lead. 8-6. Latvia with the hammer. 2 to level things up. 3 to win. There's been no 3s scored in any end so far in this game. You've always got to believe you've got a chance, Sandra, don't you? You've always got to believe.
Yeah, 2 points is nothing in curling. You've got the 5-rock rule now as well. Sometimes teams might go a bit too aggressive with it, but should be able to get some rocks in play. And that's always a good start when chasing a couple of points.
Well, that's the same question that I asked you at the start of the 9th. Which team would you rather be?
Well, now for sure Canada, 2 points up. Just statistically speaking, they're in pretty good shape, although the statistics for the 5-rock rule haven't quite been updated yet.
Yeah.
We haven't even finished the season yet, so might be a little bit different, but I'm sure 2 points up. You win most games.
I thought I just took off enough. Yeah.
2 Yellowstones in the house for Canada. Over to Korea and the USA, 6-5 to Korea. They're in the 9th.
Looks like a hit for Jamie Sinclair. Just hit that red rock next to Sarah Anderson's broom. Not sure if a nose hit is enough here. I think so. Monica Walker trying to hold this one straight. Can't afford to roll too far. There's a second red, just the top 8, but they do.
So they roll all the way out.
That should be a steal of 1 for Korea.
We have no idea about this one?
We have a guess, yeah, we do. I think really slow. I think 410.
Okay.
Line's close.
2.5.
Hard then. Want to be 3. Line's good.
2.5.
Not moving yet.
Halfway.
Here it goes. Line's really good.
2.5. We're good. 3.
Whoa.
Coming down. 3. Just above your, no, to your broom. Sit. Okay. Good. Good guess, Dana.
Good. Good job.
Good girl.
So you can see with the 5-rock rule, all 5 rocks are in play. That's pretty normal. Team without the hammer, bring a couple of rocks into the house, throw center guard. So there's definitely enough to work with for Latvia, but they also have a bit of a tidy up job to do. It'd be good to run this yellow center guard back and try and rattle the yellows a bit, just trying to open up the scoring area.
Cleared that open front and move their own. So 1 gone.
If you run it, I don't think you're rolling that far, but
Okay. Or peel.
play this, and if you peel it, it's fine.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Taking our own.
Yeah, they've got their
Okay, good.
guard.
Good call. Good, Dana.
Still smiling though.
Good. Nice. Where's that hard?
Ja. Wat maak je deze? Ja.
Okay.
Doe wat. Ja.
Deze met Weerbertsen. Weerbertsen.
Well, looking to make a nose hit on the two yellows here. We'll see the back one go. And what Latvia's hoping for is to sit frozen on the top one. They don't quite do that. But most importantly, leaves the shooter in the house. I think maybe they were actually trying to roll in behind the guard there. They wanted to sit on top. They at least should have swept it.
Okay. 10, 9-5.
Rochelle.
Hard.
Rochelle, hard for a piece.
Hard. Hard.
Gotta go on red, Dana. Okay.
Just a little bit wide on the throw. Sarah
geez,
Wilkes.
okay.
Saw that once earlier in the game on her out turn.
Time to 9-1. Really? Yeah. Bad judge on our part. I thought I was good. Sorry. I don't know if that is just better there. So
Well, it's pretty open. Latvia with a chance to come around that corner guard. It's setting up pretty nicely for them. But they're going to have to make their shots.
Really, it's all about the placement, isn't it now? They need something they can work with.
Oh, this is looking a bit heavy.
Yeah.
And that is the kind of mistake you just can't afford.
Not in the 10th end. And their window of opportunity is narrowing.
Same, yeah, same's good.
Same weight.
Whoa.
Even 9-5.
Right off. Hard Rochelle. Anything you got, Gina. Any little roll you got. Yep.
Go.
Good.
Good. Nice. Good there. Nice. Really good.
It's not quite over for Latvia yet. Still have that corner guard in play.
Through my first one.
It's okay.
Thought it might be
Well, only 3
sludgy
rocks
and I
left,
wanted
so
to be on the high side, but it wasn't.
most likely going to have to make 3 good shots here to score those 2. And first thing to do is come around that corner. Bloomberger needs to pull the strings a wee bit on her draw.
Well, she'll have remembered that she overdid it with her last one, so she also doesn't want to be too cautious.
Easy to overcorrect. Not really touching this one yet. It's a bit wide for line, so just waiting for this to curl, and if they need to, they can sweep at the end, but seems like they're all there. Might even over curl. Would love to stay for second shot, and they do. So that's pretty good.
Over to Finland, Scotland. Scotland with that big 3 in the 8th gave them that 7-3 lead. 9th end.
It does look like Scotland's lying to here, so be a draw to the forfeit for the single. Not sure if that's going to be enough for Finland, though. They might play one more, but it's going to be an uphill struggle, even if the shot's made by Una Kausta.
And she's not going to make it.
Yeah, that's going to be game over, I think.
Two for Scotland.
Oh, we're having a think. No, there we go. Want to cast up at the hand out, so.
Yeah, they're conceding there. Good one for Scotland. Really, the key end was that number 8, that 3. For the Scots, they get their first win. I'm delighted with that. Canada 2 ahead in our game in this final end. Latvia need 2 to take it to an extra end. So
Yeah, that's what.
coach down with some advice.
It's more the speed that's a little tricky right now. Well,
Yeah, this way.
If,
Safer.
yeah, it's whatever you feel best with.
whatever you feel, yeah.
It maybe means an extra end, but you still, you know, it takes the 3 out of the play.
Yeah,
So
I think that's a smart call right now.
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah, I think so.
take your time.
I think there, because like I said, I mean, as long as we roll anywhere over here, it's okay.
Words of wisdom from
little
her
left.
dad and coach, Dan Carey.
Yeah, no, Canada, they haven't been looking too comfortable with draw weight. Even in that game against Korea, the first one, Carey essentially had to draw the house for the extra end and came up short. They've just struggled a bit, it seems, coping with the ice. So didn't feel too comfortable drawing. That's what they're saying here. If they peel that guard, there's no way they're giving up a 3 because it would open up that red stone. So anywhere Latvia goes, there'll be an open hit to at least cut Latvia down to score the 2. So it's a safe play.
Yeah, so just ruling out the possibility of a 3.
Yeah.
Accepting
Hoping we might
that there's
funk
possibly
out a
going to
little.
be an extra end. But they, of course, Canada will have the hammer. And also, Latvia still have to make the shot for 2.
3 mēs tāpat nedabūsim.
Mums ir jāsaka. Nav ko domāt daudz. Citam un skatāmies, kas sanāks.
Tā kā uz šajien.
Nos rolls uz šito pusi. Nos rolls. Pieri ir ok. Primārais ir izsist un palikt.
Jo, zin kā, ja viņi tur daudz aizrūlēs un viņa tad man nav jāsit aiz tā arī stūri.
Nu, mums primārais tad ir izsist. Šitā.
Šito līniju, nevis šito.
Tu gribi to griezienu. Nē, ja tu gribi to griezienu, mēs varam to griezienu. Mēs...
Coach looking on.
Šitā? 10. Es saprotu, jā. Primāri ir izcelt.
Jā, visu laiku izceļ.
Mierīgi, 10.
Mierīgi,
Mēs
jā.
aizbērsīsim. Tu gribi šitā ten kaut kur?
10, jā?
Jā.
Thought about drawing. They are playing the hit. A bit more risk with it because you play the hit, you could always end up rolling out. They're going to try and hit this back one, roll away. This one's actually going to over curl. So the Reds are pretty flat, but they're so close together. A double is definitely on for Chelsea Carey.
Chelsea would fancy that more than she would fancy other types of shots.
I like it, Chelsea.
Yeah, the
I wanna
ice
hit it
reading
thin. I'd rather make her make something, right? Yeah.
comes a bit out of it when you throw big weight. Almost no matter what kind of ice surface you play on, you throw it hard enough, it's just not going to curl very much.
Thick half, even 2/3. We don't have to kill it. We just got to punch it like
away,
a foot.
yeah.
Easy deal.
So this shot here could end the game in Canada's favour. Chelsea Carey.
Oh, close.
After these 2 reds. Only got one. Only the one.
Good sweep, sorry.
And back in Latvian hands. They have this final stone for 2 points to take this game into an extra end. Remove that yellow on the yellow and replace it with their own, and they are still in this game.
Definitely some pressure on Iveta Stasel-Sersuna. Her first game, having made it late to the championship, and a chance to push the game against Canada into the extra. And this one's hanging, not really curl enough for them.
Oh my goodness, it doesn't. It's gone, it's out. And what a disappointing finish for Latvia. It is game over. Canada have managed to eke this one out with the win. A narrow, narrow win. I thought we were set for an extra end there. But Stasel-Sersuna just not able. The keeper stone hanging about. 8-7 the win. But they will be very pleased with their performance, but annoyed at the finish. Good win though for Canada.
It was tough, so good patience with, like, it was easy to get frustrated. I thought we did a good job of managing that with the guesses and stuff. Yeah, like it just felt like we were guessing in a lot of the pass, so really good job to stay patient on that. Yeah, nice day.
Even on that, we were just arguing about what you would have to show for that draw. I'm like, 살짝만. 거기까지. 어디야? 여기. 115? 120? 115?
So here we are with Korea against the USA. The final stones of this 10th end. Korea 7-5 up. Korea with the red stones. USA yellow. USA counting here. And they have last stone.
일단 정으로 보자. 이걸 맞춰서 정으로 보고 안 되면 타이트하면 그냥 벙커로 가자. 벙커였잖아.
아 괜히 약간 바깥쪽에서 이렇게
맞아. 그냥 이게
것보단
쓸것
낫지
같은데.
않을까?
컨트롤?
일단 7번은 무조건 나가야 되는 돌이니까.
이걸 그냥 확실히 내보내는 게 낫지 않아? 노멀 컨트롤? 차라리 갈 거면 컨트롤로 가는 게 낫지 않을까? 일단 슈터 사는 게 중요한데? 컨트롤?
페이로?
여기?
괜찮을 것 같아. 페이?
스테이. 공간은 많긴 한데.
근데 자신 있게 노멀로 때려도 일단 슈터 쓰는 게 먼저니까 컨트롤 치는 거지.
범퍼 별로야? 그럴까?
범퍼 별로야. 약간만 바깥쪽 맞으면 노란색 바로 쓰잖아.
라인 중요하다, 여리나.
네, 라인 잘 봐줘. 좁아지기 전에.
여기 좀 떨어졌나? 조금만 더 잡아줘.
컨트롤? 약하면 바로 얘기.
그래, 나 라인.
Jeep hasn't been quite on form with her hits. To restrict USA to only one. Don't want to give them opportunity for more. So they remove, and Korea by 2. USA need to take this to an extra end. But how is she going to make that happen?
I got nothing. Do you want to try this and see if it like sticks that far? We'd have to just paper it, move it this way without pushing our sticks. Yeah.
And we can never go this way.
No.
No.
Because all these can go, I just gotta keep my shooter in this. Yeah.
What do you think, folks? How does she get
Then
2
this, hit the back of this.
out of this?
Back this way. Yeah, I mean, I thought about that too. Yeah.
We can't call a timeout.
I don't think so. Yeah, no, it's time. So this would push this way, and then I don't think there's enough room to kick that past this. There isn't. No.
What a conundrum here
I think this.
for Team USA.
This would just go right in there.
It's the same thing, like there's
Yeah,
just not
same.
quite enough.
Room.
And you're definitely making contact with this,
Yeah.
so it has to be this one.
No, unfortunately.
Korea have done all they can, and they've done a pretty good job of making it as difficult as possible for USA.
Yeah, underneath it.
Into here. I mean,
Right?
try it.
You just slam this.
Scratching their heads.
Well, nothing's good's
I
gonna
think
come
this
if I
has-
do that.
There's no way you can
Like
slam
have
that
kick
and
across.
make that go that way,
That's
right?
what I said.
Yeah.
Like
Make
this
what go
goes
what way?
over
make
the
the
top.
second red one go that way a little bit? Don't think so.
No.
Is this in there too tight?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like this.
Coach doesn't know either.
Yeah, sure.
You have to throw that really hard.
I can't throw it that hard.
Yeah, you can.
No, you didn't.
We'll see.
Well, she's got to give something a go. Who knows what will be the outcome. It's hard when you don't even know whether the shot's there. To make the shot in the first place. Korea really have put the cat amongst the pigeons here. It's really, really difficult for the USA to see any way of getting 2 out of this. But let's see. Jenna Sinclair with the last stone of this 10th end. Remember, she needs 2 counters, 2 yellow counters. Yeah, a bit thin on that red stone. And that means the game is over. It was always, always going to be a very difficult challenge against this very, very good Korean team. It's a steal of 2 for Korea. Brilliant effort by the US team. But Korea seal another victory. 9-5 over the USA final score. Another very solid performance from these young Korean players.
Yeah. We could never overcurl. I know. Like that's why we stay close.
Latvia definitely in for 1 in the 6th end after Canada came short. Latvian skip Stasa Sarsuni makes another really nice draw for 2. So Latvia in the lead at 5-4.
Okay.
Seventh end, Canada's Chelsea Carey with a draw for 2 this time. She was heavy with her first stone.
You're good.
But this time
You're good.
she does secure the 2, and Canada now lead 6-5. Canada with 1 secured. Chelsea Carey, the skip, delivers, looking for 2. The sweeper's watching it carefully, but no problem. Canada leading 8-6, going into the final end. Latvia needed 2 to level the game, but they couldn't manage it. And it's victory for Canada. 8-7, the final score. And there are the other scores. Finland 3, Scotland 9, Korea 9, USA 5, Latvia 7, Canada 8, as we've just seen. And Sweden have beaten Denmark 7-3. So China didn't play this evening at the top. Korea now join them on 3 wins and no losses. Sweden on 3-1. Canada, Germany, Japan and Russia on 2-1. Scotland with their first win alongside Switzerland and the USA. And 3 teams yet to get a victory. Denmark, Finland and Latvia.
Canada's ranked pretty far ahead of Latvia on the rankings, but we didn't quite see that difference on the ice at all times today. How come?
The ice is really tricky, so it was a lot of guessing games, and she made everything. She played incredible. I think the shot she missed in the last end to lose the game was the first shot she missed the whole time.
You're quite used to playing at home in Canada against Canadian teams. Now you're in Europe playing a lot of international sides. Does that make it more challenging for you guys?
I don't know that the teams is more challenging. The Scotties is a lot of unfamiliar teams too that don't play the tour, that are from, you know, the Maritimes and things. The ice is just tricky. It was really good this morning, and tonight it was a struggle again. It's just when you're guessing at speed, it's tough, but hung in there and pulled it out. That's all that matters. No pictures on the scoreboard.
How do you deal with the target on your back and the expectations back home?
It's a lot, but that's actually easier when you're here because there's less focus on you and less, you know, you're playing in the middle of the night back home and things. So my Worlds in Canada felt a lot more under the microscope than this one does. So we're just cruising with it so far. It's, you know, every game's going to be a battle, and we know that. Everybody's going to be up to play us, and we know that, and that's okay. We're comfortable with that.
Thank you. Congrats.
Thank you very much.
Yes, congratulations to Chelsea Carey and Team Canada. 8-7 victory over Latvia. And that's it from our coverage for the moment, from me and Sandra Rolvag. Thank you very much indeed for watching, and we'll see you for the next one. Bye for now.